Well, I'm looking forward to this new year for lots of reasons. One of them is living here in Vancouver. We're getting ready for the Olympics to come. We're wondering what that's going to be about. Some people looking forward with great anticipation, some holding their breath just to see what this is all going to be like. We're uniquely situated. We're right in the heart of the city. We have some plans about how we're going to try to extend hospitality to people who have come from all over the world. So we are anticipating an interesting time during those weeks. But the biggest reason I'm looking forward to this new year is the new series of sermons that we're going to be doing. We're going to make our way through Jesus' famous Beatitudes, his blessed are. And we're doing this because we're looking at the mission statement that First Baptist Church has. We have printed on our bulletin every Sunday. We are a community following Jesus with a heart for the city and beyond. Over the past months, we've been focusing on Jesus. We've been asking the question, so who is Jesus? If we're a community following Jesus, who are we following? Who is this Jesus? And now we want to move to the next phase and ask the question, what does it mean to be a community following Jesus? If we follow this Jesus, what will this community now look like? And in this series of sermons, Jesus is going to answer the question himself. He's going to tell us that a community that follows him begins to look like a beatitude community. And so we're going to be working our way through Matthew chapter 5, verses 3 through 12, which is the introduction to his famous Sermon on the Mount. And we're going to make our way one by one through these 8 Beatitudes. Jesus will tell us, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the gentle, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for right relatedness, for justice, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for justice' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you and say all manner of evil against you falsely on account of me. Rejoice and be glad, says Jesus, for great is your reward in heaven, for so they persecuted the prophets who were before you." Even as I recite those words, I am very excited about getting into them. I think it was G.K. Chesterton of the last century who said, "The first time you read the Beatitudes, nothing makes sense. But the second time you read them, nothing else makes sense." And you realize that this is exactly where we want to live. I'm going to be emphasizing a number of things during this series, but the biggest one is going to be that these Beatitudes are not natural human qualities. No one's born with them, and we cannot achieve them. It's not as though Jesus went through Palestine looking for beatitude people he could call into his kingdom, into his community. Rather, Jesus went into Palestine bringing the good news of his kingdom, bringing his kingdom into Palestine, and as a result, the kingdom made people into beatitude people. It's because of him and his kingdom that we are changed and become this kind of person. This word blessed, we're going to have to unpack its actual meaning, but one of the synonyms I'm going to use for it is in sync. Jesus is telling us that these qualities are the qualities of people who are in sync with his kingdom. Matthew, in the chapter right before the Beatitudes, sets us up by quoting from the prophet Isaiah, a text we've actually quoted a number of times throughout the Advent Christmas season. He writes, "The people who are sitting in darkness saw a great light. To those who were sitting in the land and shadow of death, upon them a light dawned. Then Jesus says, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And I think what Jesus is saying is that when the light dawns in the darkness, when the kingdom comes, people find themselves transformed into these beatitude people. These people in sync with the light, in sync with the kingdom. Revolutionary words, the Beatitudes, which means that as we make our way through them in the coming months, we're in for a revolutionary time.